I know, Julio, you had a few contacts and resources for us around mental health, the mental health urgent care, I believe.
Yeah, so we can talk for example, for people who live in Sacramento County, if you feel that you're having a mental health crisis, if you feel suicidal, you feel like you may want to harm somebody else, or you feel like you are desperate for help, you can go to the Sacramento Mental Health Urgent Care Clinic. We posted the phone number in there. They're located on Stockton Boulevard, close to Broadway. They are open from 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 p.m. They don't require any insurance. They don't require to have an appointment. You can definitely go in there. They have psychiatry. They have therapies available, and even access to higher services if needed.
That's incredible. If everyone could take a minute, and write that number down or put that number in your phone, that would be incredible. We could do that together. I'm writing them down. And I'll also throw back up 520-2460. I'll also throw up the the suicide prevention lifeline one more time, just in case we didn't get that number. That would be incredible. That way, if you're dealing with that in your own personal life, or you're experiencing somebody else doing that, you have this lifeline to put in your number and call in case of a mental health emergency. I know we have the Mental Health Access Mental Health Sacramento as well. That's another resource we want to give you. Julio, what was this one about, the Access Mental Health Sacramento? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. So Sacramento Department of Health offers access, and that's where the name they wanted to give it, access mental health services for anybody in the county of Sacramento, where they can do intakes for therapy, psychiatry, counseling, with a connection of many different and diverse therapists and psychiatrists throughout the county. And they'll do an assessment on the spot, and they're super helpful.
Yeah. And then thank you, Julio. There's also a crisis hotline too that you can text 24/7, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You can text 741-741, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Julio, if I'm correct.
That's correct. So 741-741. I know that it's very difficult sometimes for some of us to talk to somebody that we don't know about our mental health needs, right? Or we are in crisis. But a lot of us are very comfortable texting. So this is something that you can do. And I want to add for both this, the text hotline and the National Suicide Prevention Line, I always recommend for people to practice it, right? You can even reach out to them and let them know, I'm not in a crisis right now, but I suffer of panic attacks, or I suffer of suicide ideation
Right.
at times, and I want to practice how to reach out to you. And they are super understanding, and they will walk you through the process for you to feel more comfortable, whether it's the National Suicide Hotline to talk to somebody or the text hotline.
Wow, because I couldn't even imagine how difficult that would be for somebody to want to practice or to not know how to call or text. Thank you for that, Julio. Before I roll in and ask Christian to help us out, I want to talk about Malik Sampson at hearyou.org. Hearyou.org is through SAC Collab, and it is free mental health counseling, therapy for anyone seeking those services. I know I touched on my mom's suicidal attempt earlier, and I'm very thankful that I ran into the resource and network of hearyou.org, because my mother is now in therapy. She does it every Tuesday, and she is showing incredible signs of just loving her life and loving herself a lot more. Malik, can you touch on hearyou.org a little bit more, sir?
Yes. Yes, I'm very happy you were able to. Thank you for being able to share that about your mom, and I'm happy that she was able to take advantage of these services. I'm really happy to hear you was doing this SAC collab services, because right now it's giving people the opportunity to go to therapy that may not have had that opportunity before, or may not have thought about even going because of it. And it's allowing these people now to get the help that they deserve and need. And here in therapy, I believe that therapy is it doesn't always have to be for when you're in a crisis, right? It can be to get you ready to prevent you from that crisis, or to prevent you from feeling certain emotions and things that lead to a crisis. So definitely appreciative of hearing you for this platform and SAT Collab and what they're doing, and definitely would recommend taking advantage of the services that they have right now.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Malik. We have one more resource for you, mental health first aid app that you can download. I'll let Christian Jacobs take it from here on what that is and how we access that.
Sure. I just also wanted to really quickly add too that the if you're unable to make it or reach those hours of the mental health urgent care center, the mental health treatment center, Sacramento County Mental Health Treatment Center, that's actually in the same location as the urgent care, right in the front. It's a 24-hour inpatient facility. If you can't make it during those facility, and there's always a clinician available to assess you and whether you need to and what type of services you need. Just wanted to add that too.
Thank you.
And also something else too is so the app basically is a application to help individuals who may not have the clinical skills to assess and help a friend. So it's really a action plan. And so mental health first aid is broken down in terms of action plans. And so it's a ALGEE action plan, which is called. It's ALGEE, and those letters stand for something. And I'll explain that to you. So like action one is usually you're approaching the person and you want to assess if they need any type of assistance. And basically you want to find a confidential place where you can talk to them and really find a suitable place where they both feel comfortable. It's really about respecting the person's privacy as well before you get involved with their personal information and things of that sort. The person may harm themselves or others, and also they can be gravely disabled, meaning that they're not able to bathe themselves, they're not able to feed themselves, they're not able to cook for themselves, or they can't take their own medication. So that's also another sign that someone's having a mental health crisis where intervention may be appropriate. So in the next step in this app, it really breaks it down on how to, the action two is a listen non-judgmentally. So the app will break down how you do that. How do you listen non-judgmentally? You're talking less and listening more, things of that sort. Action three, it really breaks down how to give support and information. So the resources that we're talking about today are some of the resources that are in the app as well, and how to give that support and positive reinforcement. So that's really important when someone's in a crisis, to give them positive reinforcement. And then next is really encouraging that person to get professional help. So you want to really encourage them to, you can help them. And however, encourage them to, seek out some of these hotlines, and also warm lines as well. Warm lines are lines that are used to for individuals that may not be in a specific high need crisis, but they may need someone to talk to. So that's why it's called a warm line. Yes. And Cal Hope has a warm line as well. Cal Hope is the group, and that's their phone number is 833-317-HOPE. So that's 4673. So 833-317-4673. And those last four numbers spell HOPE. And the last part of that app is action 5. You're encouraging other support. So you're encouraging them to use self-help strategies. So ultimately, you want to get these individuals to be able to operate and self-soothe on their own, meaning you want them to be able to de-escalate themselves at times, or be able to get themselves to a baseline level where they can be calm. So that help is free, and the app is in the link is in the chat, and you can access that on your Android or your Apple.
Got it. Mental health first aid, ALGEE. Remember, ALGEE. Assess for risk of suicide or harm. Listen non-judgmentally to the individual. Give reassurance. Encourage professional help, and encourage self-help or other support strategies like we listed below. These are all great tools to have in your mental health emergency toolkit.